trees. The flowers also they're just a letter, but it's self-explanatory. The trees, Leonardo is referring to Isaiah, the prophet from the Old Testament. Isaiah says, 55.5 and up to 56.7, the paragraph says, spelled very clearly, and they use the word also annunciation. Is used in Isaiah, annunciazione. He says, when the Messiah will come, nature will sing, will praise the Lord by singing for the Lord. How do these trees do that? There are cypresses in the sequence. And Isaiah says, instead of bushes of thorns, cypresses will be born. Cypress is the symbol of reaching up to the sky. And then he specifies the elm, l'olmo, abete, the evergreen. Isaiah specifies these things, even says about the three numbers. And then you have 4, 3, 3, 1, totals 12. We continue there. Ottavio. The 12 trees, 12 tribes of Israel. The last tree, Cyprus, is supposed to be the tribe of David, from which Mary comes from, and that will give regality to Mary. Other annunciations before, we had Mary represented as a simple girl at the fountain of the spring getting water. Leonardo represents her with a regal status, dresses, and positions in a pyramid, set in a pyramid. So we are searching for this bello. Bello didn't exist, so what word was he using? By the way, bello comes from bello, war, and bello, a man was hermoso, formoso, a woman was linda, clean. So bello, let's forget completely. So we don't need to harmony. He would use harmony. And from harmony, we go to proportions and music, and then divine proportions. So which harmony? And we go to Pythagoras. How many of you are familiar with Pythagoras? Okay, everybody. Now, Maria will lead us very quickly into this. If you look at the image, I believe it's number 8. Can I correct it? Number 8, yes. You see music lines? Number 8. So, these are strings, and Maria will play a full string. Yeah. Now, try to think we are in the south of Italy, in Calabria, Crotone, and Pythagoras with his students, and they hear these sounds, this string, or they hear people working swords, for example. It was very common at the time to have shops working metal, and based on the size of the hammer that they were using, sounds would come out, and they would hear a relationship of these sounds. Pythagoras was very curious about that, because what happens? If you take the string and you cut in half, what comes out? An octave. Do, do. Okay. What is the relationship? The perfect consonance is the same sound. You repeat unison, that's perfect consonance. The first consonance is the octave. And the relationship is what? 1 to 2. Keep these numbers in mind. Then he divides the string in 3 parts, and you play the 2/3 of the 3. The sol, do, re, mi, fa, sol. So the 5th. In music, another magic number. The next consonant is the 5th. So the relationship is 2, 3. So it's 1, 2, 2, 3. Then divides the string in 4 parts, and you play the 3/4, the fa. The fa, do, re, mi, fa, next perfect consonant. These are called perfect consonants. So, and this happens with the hammers. It happens with many things in nature. So Pythagoras was like, this is magic. We may have found the mystery of creation, the secret of the world. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he made this triangle with the 4. The triangle, as you know, for Pythagoras was another enormous symbol. Right? Because what happens? Mathematically, you have to think that today we say 3 plus 4 equals 7, right? Not for Pythagoras, not for Leonardo. 3 plus 4 equals 5. How many of you familiar with this? Everybody. So, when Leonardo thinks about numbers, you see, for him 3 is square, it's 9. 4 is 16, equals 5 squared, 25. So in the mind of Leonardo, it's 9 plus 16 becomes 25. 3 plus 4 equals 5. And this is not a square, just a square, because with Pythagoras, this works for a cube. It works for all other dimensions. It works for different forms. Now, back to our painting. Where is some music inside there? Vivaldi, in Mantova, 200 years later, look at those trees. They have a specific rhythm. There are numbers inside that we will discover later on, but they are the distance of the unit. There is no centimeters, no inches, right? It's a different unit. You have 5, 5, 5. You have 5 stones coming there. Some people think the pentagram also. There is music in those trees. Those trees are singing. Those trees are applauding. Isaiah says applauding also. Singing and applauding the work of the Lord, the creation. And Vivaldi does what? Imagery, and next to music is numbers and volumes that we are going to discover. Now the next performer, Savarese, he will perform a piece that is meant to represent the creation of the cosmos. Cosmos, again, cosmo is the word that Pythagoras invented. He's the first one that used the word cosmos to define the cosmos.